Men, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you're in a relationship, but somehow you're invisible in it? She'll just disappear for hours, save your number under another name, keep you invisible online, and make you beg for her time. These aren't harmless quirks. They're deliberate moves, and the price you pay for missing them is living as the sideman in a story you thought you were leading. But here's the twist. Once you know these patterns, you'll never be fooled again. Today, I'll reveal the 5 games women play that prove she's already cheating on you. This is your wake-up call. If you've ever felt overlooked, disrespected, or treated as an option, today is where you draw the line. Before we move forward, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and write your own commitment in the comments. Say, never again. Because what you'll hear next is not just a story about women's games, it's the first step to reclaiming your power and refusing to be someone's backup plan ever again. Number 1. The disappearing act. Every man knows that sinking feeling when the woman you're dating suddenly becomes unavailable. You send a message, no reply. You call, straight to voicemail. Hours go by, sometimes even days, and all you're left with is silence. She'll come back later with a casual excuse, maybe something about her phone battery dying, or that she was just busy. But deep down, you know this isn't just a one-time accident. It's a pattern. Let me break it down for you. When a woman consistently disappears without explanation, it's not about busyness, and it's not about her schedule. It's about investment, where she's choosing to put her emotional energy and attention. Women don't just forget the man they truly value. They don't ignore someone they're genuinely excited about. If she's disappearing on you, she's appearing for someone else. Here's the psychology behind it. When a woman is emotionally or physically drawn to another man, she will begin to disconnect from you in subtle but painful ways. She'll ration her presence, giving you crumbs while someone else gets the full meal. And the worst part? She knows you're waiting. She knows you're sitting there, wondering, checking your phone, debating whether you should double text. That's how she keeps control. Your uncertainty feeds her power. Now picture this. You've been planning to spend the evening together. You've set aside time, maybe even turned down plans with friends. You're waiting for her to show up or call. But instead of a knock at the door or a ringing phone, there's just silence. She's not missing. She's not lost. She's not stranded somewhere without signal. She's making a choice. And that choice is to be somewhere else, likely with someone who currently excites her more than you. That is betrayal in its earliest form. Men often convince themselves not to overreact. They tell themselves, she must be tired. Maybe she just needed space. But let me be crystal clear. Respectful women communicate. Even a simple message saying, I'll be tied up tonight, talk tomorrow, takes seconds. Disappearing completely. That's deliberate. That's not forgetfulness. That's disregard. And here's the brutal truth. The more you tolerate this disappearing act, the more it becomes the standard. She learns that she can vanish for hours or days, then come back with little to no explanation, and you'll accept it. You've trained her that your time, your presence, your dignity, they don't require respect. That is how men slowly become the backup plan, the placeholder she keeps around until she's done with her real priorities. So what should you do? Don't chase. Don't beg for explanations. Don't waste energy writing long paragraphs about how her silence made you feel. She already knows. What you need to do is observe the pattern. Watch her behavior over time. If she continues to disappear without effort to reassure you, that's your confirmation. You don't need her words. You already have the truth written in her actions. Then you make the decision that most men are too afraid to make. You walk away. Not out of spite, not to punish her, but out of respect for yourself. Because a man who values his own time doesn't sit waiting for a woman who keeps vanishing. Remember this. A woman who is genuinely invested in you doesn't make you question her whereabouts. She doesn't vanish into thin air and leave you in emotional limbo. She shows up because she wants to. And if she doesn't, then she's already showing up for someone else. If she's too busy for you, it means she's never too busy for someone else. Number 2, hiding you in plain sight. One of the clearest signs a woman is already cheating, whether emotionally or physically, is when she hides your identity in her phone. You think it's just a cute quirk when you see your name saved as plumber or carpenter. Maybe you laugh it off when she calls you John from work in her contacts. But let me tell you something, men. That is not a quirk. That is a calculated move. Why would a woman hide your name? Simple. Because there's someone else she doesn't want knowing about you. And here's the harsh part. You're not the main man she's protecting. If she's disguising you under aliases, it means she's guarding her real relationship. You are the side story. You're the secret she can't afford to reveal. Think about the psychology here. Women are masters of social perception. They know their phones are the modern diary. Every notification, every call, every message, it's a window into their private world. If she doesn't want her main guy to see your name flashing on the screen, she'll make sure your identity is camouflaged. That's not about privacy. That's about deception. Now imagine this scenario. You're sitting together, maybe watching TV. Her phone rings. You glance over and see your number pop up on the screen. But instead of David or Michael, it says plumber. Your heart sinks. In that instant, you realize you're not the man she claims you are. You're not her partner. You're her secret. And being someone's secret is not love. It's betrayal with a smile. Men often try to rationalize. They'll say, "Oh, she's just private," or "She told me she doesn't like people knowing her business." But here's the truth. People don't hide what they're proud of. If she's proud of you, she'll call you by your name. She'll claim you, not disguise you. A hidden contact is not protection. It's preparation. Preparation for when her other man picks up her phone, scrolls through her messages, and doesn't see your name. Let's be honest, too. Women will sometimes admit to this behavior, brushing it off as a habit from the past. They'll say, "I just don't like people in my business. That's why I use symbols or fake names." But notice the difference. A transparent woman will tell you up front, explain her reasons, and even show you so you understand. A woman who avoids explaining, who gets defensive when you ask, who downplays it, she's hiding. And if she's hiding you, she's already betraying you. The damage here isn't just about the name in her phone, it's about what it represents. You're not being given the role of a respected partner. You're being demoted to a hidden option, a backup, someone she doesn't want to risk being caught with. And if you accept that role, you've already lost. Because the man who tolerates being hidden will never be fully chosen. So what do? Don't argue. Don't demand that she change the name. Don't fight for visibility on her phone. Because the problem isn't the contact name, it's the fact that you're even in this position. The very need for a disguise means you're not her priority. That's your signal to walk away. Let me put it plain. A woman who hides you is a woman who's already cheating in her heart. She's already compartmentalized you into the shadows, and no man of value belongs in the shadows. A woman only hides what she's not proud of. If she hides you, she's already cheating. Number 3, the one-sided schedule. Every relationship has give and take. You make time for each other. You compromise. You adjust plans because that's what partnership is. But when the balance shifts, when everything starts happening only on her terms, you're not in a relationship anymore. You're in a game, and the rules of that game are rigged against you. Here's how it plays out. You call her up, suggest dinner on Friday night. She says she's busy. You try Saturday afternoon. Again, she can't. Week after week, you're chasing opportunities to spend time together, but somehow it never lines up. Then, out of the blue, she calls you on Wednesday night at 9 p.m., and suddenly she's free. You drop everything, rush to her side, because finally, she's made time for you. But do you notice what happened? You didn't make that date. She did. And it only happened when it worked for her, not you. This is the psychology behind the one-sided schedule. Control. When she dictates when you can and can't see her, she's not just managing her calendar. She's managing you. She's training you to be available on demand, while never committing to your plans. That's not coincidence, that's conditioning. Now think about the emotional toll. You start rearranging your life to fit hers. You put her above your friends, your hobbies, even your work sometimes. Because you're afraid if you don't say yes to the rare window she gives you, you'll lose your only chance. And that's exactly how she keeps the upper hand. The less predictable her time, the more desperate you become for any scrap of it. You end up grateful for the smallest moments instead of recognizing how little you're actually getting. Here's the kicker. A woman who truly values you will want to carve out time for you, even if it means sacrifice. Maybe she's tired, but she'll still meet for coffee. Maybe she has a packed week, but she'll squeeze in a phone call. Why? Because you matter. A woman who never adjusts for you, who never bends her schedule even slightly, is telling you loud and clear, you're not a priority. The truth most men don't want to face is this. When her availability feels like a mystery, it's usually because she's dividing her time elsewhere, and elsewhere often means other men. She's juggling attention, and you're just one card in her deck. If you show up on the wrong night, it might expose the whole house of cards she's built. So she keeps you at arm's length, only pulling you in when it's safe. And men, this is where the danger lies. You might think patience and loyalty will prove your worth. That if you just keep waiting, eventually she'll give you the time you deserve. But waiting doesn't earn respect. Boundaries do. If you don't set a standard, she'll never meet one. If you accept being last on her list, you'll stay last on her list. So here's the strategy. Stop rearranging your life for someone who won't even consider rearranging hers. Don't cancel plans with friends or skip opportunities just because she finally decides she's free. Value your own time. And if she notices you're not available at her every beck and call, one of two things will happen. She'll either step up and start making real effort, or she'll drift away. And if she drifts, good. That means she was never yours to begin with. Because here's the bottom line. Partnership means both people show up. If you're the only one adjusting, you're not her partner. You're her option. And no man of value lives as someone's option. If she only makes time when it benefits her, you're not her partner. You're her backup plan. Number 4, the invisible relationship. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. A healthy woman may not want to post every detail of her life on social media, and that's fine. But when she deliberately refuses to acknowledge you anywhere, no photos, no birthday posts, no subtle hints that she even has a man, what she's practicing is not privacy. It's concealment. And concealment always has a purpose. Let's break this down. Social media today is the modern stage. People post what they're proud of, what they want the world to know. Friends, vacations, achievements, even what they had for lunch. It's all out there. Now ask yourself, if she shares everything from her dog to her dinner, but somehow never shares you, what does that mean? It means she wants the world to see her as available. It means she's keeping the door wide open for other men to walk in. Picture this moment. It's your birthday. You've been together for months, maybe years. You're scrolling through her posts, hoping to see something, anything, that shows you matter to her. But there's nothing. No mention, no photo, not even a simple, happy birthday in her stories. Instead, she's posting memes, selfies, or snaps with her friends. The message is clear. You don't exist in her public world. And that silence cuts deeper than any insult. The psychology behind this is simple. Public acknowledgement creates accountability. If she posts you, she's telling other men, I'm taken. She's telling her circle, this is my partner. And with that comes responsibility to respect you, to stay loyal, to honor the relationship. But if she never claims you online, she avoids all of that. She gets the benefits of having you in private, while keeping the benefits of appearing single in public. That's not partnership. That's double living. Now, don't confuse this with women who genuinely prefer to stay offline. Some people value their privacy deeply. But here's the key distinction. If she doesn't post anyone, not even her family or close friends, that might just be her lifestyle. But if she's posting regularly, her coffee, her colleagues, her cousin's dog, and still manages to leave you out entirely, then it's intentional. She's hiding you, not her life. And here's the emotional trap men fall into. They convince themselves it doesn't matter. They say, I'm not big on social media anyway. Or, she told me she just likes to keep things private. But deep down, you feel that sting. You know what it means to be hidden. It means you're not being claimed. And being unclaimed is being unvalued. So what's the strategy? Don't beg her to post you. Don't demand a photo. Don't try to guilt her into a public display. That's not the point. The point is to recognize the pattern. If she refuses to acknowledge you while freely sharing every other part of her life, that's not oversight. That's avoidance. And avoidance in public usually means betrayal in private. A relationship should never make you feel invisible. You deserve to be recognized, to be respected, to be known as the man in her life. And if she won't give you that, then you need to face the reality. She's keeping her options open. A woman who won't claim you in public is already available in private. Number 5. The endless flirt. Some women believe flirting is harmless. They'll tell you it's just their personality, that they're naturally friendly, that you shouldn't read too much into it. But let me tell you something straight. When a woman constantly flirts with other men, whether you're present or not, it's not personality, it's strategy. And that strategy is about keeping multiple doors open at once. Here's how it looks. You're at a party together, and instead of being at your side, she's across the room laughing a little too hard at another man's jokes. She touches his arm when she talks. She calls him babe or honey in the same tone she uses with you. And when you bring it up later, she shrugs it off. You're overreacting. I'm just being nice. That dismissal, that's the real red flag. Because a woman who values you doesn't dismiss your boundaries. She respects them. Psychologically, flirting is reinforcement. Every time she drops a compliment, every time she makes a suggestive joke, she's testing the waters. She's seeing who will respond, who will reciprocate, who might be an option down the line. It's like she's planting seeds everywhere, waiting to see which ones grow. And in the meantime, you're left wondering if you're the tree she's really watering, or just another seed in the soil. Now let's talk about the emotional impact. When you tell her directly, I don't like when you flirt with other men, and she ignores you, what she's really saying is, your feelings don't matter as much as my attention does. That's not lightheartedness, that's disregard. And disregard is the root of betrayal. Because if she can look you in the eye, hear your discomfort, and still keep doing it, then what you have is not a misunderstanding, it's defiance. Here's the dangerous part most men underestimate. Flirting doesn't always stay flirting. It escalates. That guy she calls buddy at the office, that harmless banter, can quickly turn into private messages. Those playful touches can become excuses to meet one-on-one. Before you know it, The line you thought she'd never cross is behind her. And you'll be left wondering how you missed the warning signs. Men, you need to understand this clearly. Women who are loyal don't flirt with everyone. They may be friendly, yes, but there's a difference between being warm and being suggestive. Loyalty draws boundaries. Disloyalty blurs them. And if she's constantly blurring lines, she's showing you that exclusivity is not in her nature, or at least not in her intentions with you. So what should you do? First, set the boundary. Tell her directly and calmly that it makes you uncomfortable. Don't shout, don't accuse, just state the truth. If she values the relationship, she'll adjust. But if she laughs it off, mocks you, or keeps doing it anyway, you have your answer. Because a woman who respects you doesn't play with other men's attention. And a woman who disrespects you once will disrespect you again. You don't need to tolerate a partner who treats your emotions like background noise. You don't need to stay loyal to someone who uses loyalty as a leash while she explores her options. Because when a woman makes herself available to everyone, she belongs to no one. A woman who flirts with everyone is loyal to no one. So let's put this all together. If your woman is disappearing without explanation, hiding you under fake names, controlling the schedule so you only see her on her terms, erasing you from her public life, or endlessly flirting with every man in sight, these aren't just games. These are warning signs. They are the emotional chess moves of someone who has already checked out of the relationship, and very likely checked into someone else's arms. And here's the painful truth most men don't want to face. By the time you notice these behaviors, it's not about preventing betrayal, it's about recognizing that betrayal is already happening. Cheating doesn't always start with physical intimacy. It starts with distance, with secrecy, with disrespect. It starts with her testing how much you'll tolerate before you walk away. But you don't have to be the man who tolerates it. You don't have to sit in silence, waiting for scraps of attention, hoping that she'll one day choose you fully. You have a choice. You can demand respect by respecting yourself first. You can stop chasing, stop rationalizing, stop making excuses for behavior that devalues you. Because here's the reality. The moment you allow these games to continue, you've already lost. You've lost time, dignity, and peace of mind. But the moment you decide you will no longer play along, you've already won. You've taken back your power. You've reclaimed your self-respect. And that victory is worth more than any half-hearted love she was giving you. So my challenge to you is this. Don't just watch for the signs, act on them. If any of these patterns sound familiar, it's time to stop waiting and start deciding. Decide that you are worth more than being hidden, controlled, or disrespected. Decide that you will only accept a woman who shows up fully, proudly, and loyally. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a man who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below if you've ever recognized these games in your own life, because your story might just be the wake-up call another man needs. The moment you tolerate these games, you've already lost. The moment you walk away, you've already won.